This is Sai Fanindra from SQL School. I assure you complete practice orientation from scratch, right from the basics. And we'll have interested interactive attendees in the class. Let's filter each other. Let's make sure the participants filter the trainer and the trainer filter the participants of the best possible class and the course. I need your support in this process. Let's get started slowly, step by step. We are into core data engineering, what it is and why. Let's start from the scratch carefully. The agenda for today's class. What is database? What is warehouse? First 2 minutes. The next 2 minutes, what is ETL? Then 2 more minutes, what is engineering? Then comes the remainder of our class today, components, their purpose, and the prerequisites, including the course takeaways. I need to hear from you. I need to hear your requirements. We'll do it in next few minutes. Let's get started slowly. What is database? A platform to store any type of data, any amount of data, no exceptions. Any type of data, barcodes, QR codes, images, video, audio clips, complex calculations, anything. Database is ready to host the content. Millions and billions of terabytes of data can be stored in a database now. And any amount of data, fully secured. Basic types of databases, OLTP, to store live real-time data, warehouse. This is our actual course. To store historical data and aggregated data. Remember, historical, aggregated. These are the major data store activities we need to learn in our classes from tomorrow. Purpose of database, data warehouse. Our actual course from tomorrow, historical data, aggregate data. So kindly revise aggregations in SQL. Group by, having, grouping, cube, roll up. Please revise those SQL concepts. Basics should be enough. To understand historical data, please revise upset, incremental loads, upset statement in Oracle, or merge statement in MS SQL. Any one SQL is okay. Prefer to have Microsoft SQL. Upset statement, group by statement, group by keywords. Enough. The remaining part I will take care. One more slide. Database, to store any type of data, any amount of data, two basic types. Two basic types of databases. OLTP, to store live real-time data. SQL developers will take care of database design, but we, data engineers, from tomorrow, we are into mainly historical data, primary focus. In our journey, we can use data warehouse to store aggregated data. But in some projects, aggregated data will be given to OLAP database. A separate team will take care. In general, for bigger projects. Smaller projects, we are jack of all trades. Let's focus on historical data. 70% examples. Aggregated data remaining 30% examples. But how? How do we do that? In SQL, to perform aggregations, you got group by. In SQL, to perform incremental loads, you got upset, merge statement. Then what about our engineering activities? The answer, ETL, extract, transform, load. Assume different showrooms in a city. Say bike or car showrooms in a city. And the transport system to collect the goods or to supply the goods to the transport system ETL to and fro godown. The godown is a warehouse. We have two transport systems here, one government, one private. I mean open source Databricks, private Microsoft Data Factory. Both ETLs we need to learn from tomorrow, of course, one after the other in our entire 2 months journey. And two godowns, one government, one private, one open source, one Microsoft. Open source warehouse Spark, Microsoft warehouse Synapse. Each of them have their own beauty. One is always greater than the other, always, in multiple aspects. They compete each other. By end of our course, we need to learn when to use which, when to go for open source ETL, open source warehouse, and Microsoft ETL, Microsoft warehouse, and more importantly, how to integrate them together. In a project, any end-to-end project, for example, one of our use case scenarios in our upcoming classes, we are going to mix this Microsoft ETL, open source ETL, Microsoft warehouse, open source warehouse together. We are going to do them together. Okay. In that journey, we'll work with something called the end-to-end implementations on my screen now. We have open source ETL, Databricks, Microsoft ETL Data Factory, Microsoft Warehouse Synapse, and open source warehouse, something called bronze, silver, gold, called medallion architecture. Right one's access of an architecture we call with bronze, silver, and gold. It's all about ETL, okay? We extract data from various sources, extract, perform all kinds of calculations, transformations, extract, transform, and load. I repeat again, extract, transform, and load. ETL, L into warehouse. Now the question why? Why we need it? Analysis. We need data warehouse to store old data. For example, I applied for a home loan very recently. And the bank authorities asked me for the bank statement because I applied for a bigger loan amount. So they asked my bank account details for last 4 years, my wife's account again, because we have one joint account, my company's account, and our consultancy account from a different country. When I was in US, we used to have a consultancy there between 2008 to 2013. So we used to consolidate everything. The bank authorities will be having certain tools to forecast my loan repaying capacity. History speaks itself, right? There comes warehouse. We need to hit warehouse to identify the old data, past trends, trend analysis, and accurate predictions. So data science projects, ML, machine learning, AI projects, reporting projects, everywhere data warehouse is the actual basement. Without you, me, without data engineers, there are no data science or data analysis requirements. We are the backbone. So we should be stronger. So in our classes from tomorrow, we are going to work with 3 important verticals. ETL, once again, Microsoft open source flavor. Storage account, data lake, lake house, different levels of storage and staging. And something called warehouse. I said something because we are all very new to the environment. We'll do it slowly, step by step. We have Microsoft and other one, open source. Both are equally powerful. Remember, both can happily compete with each other. One of them wins each time. So we need to have end-to-end integrations with stream analytics, IoT, CI/CD, and Power BI together in our classes. So I need your support. On-time practice throughout the course important. Let's do our best together. And to make it more easier and clear where this data engineer stands on my screen. MS SQL, please revise constraints, joins, normal forms, merge for incremental loads, rank for incremental loads as well as for aggregated loads. Basic tuning should be fine. Procedure functions for parameters. Basic should be enough. Please revise them during your free time. We are into core engineering activities from tomorrow. Data factory, data lake, data bricks, Spark, PySpark, Synapse, IoT, logic apps, Purview, and big data storage. 2 months classes, black box, core black box. If you are looking for Power BI, separate 1 month course, 7 tools, 4 technologies, total 11 components, Power BI ecosystem. Separate 1 month journey. We have a Power BI now with 450 active action items. Power Query 50, DAX 50, Cloud 50, Visualizations 50, Data Modeling 50, etc. We need to get into the length and breadth of the technology. If you are into Fabric, yes, happy. We have 2 months Fabric on top of data engineering. We are fine with data engineering, then you step into Fabric for best learning and best understanding process. If Fabric is your primary skill set later. What is Fabric? Very simple. Just to get some idea, okay? In data engineering, we pay for data factory separately, ETL, Synapse separately, storage, IoT separately, data lake separately, like this, just like a la carte, okay? This is like a la carte. Individual units, individual billing items. And Power BI again, there are 2 different licenses separately we need to do. Power BI cloud license and server license. In Fabric, everything single license, like a buffet. One single bill, irrespective of the items you use. Fabric is a single license BI implementation. Fabric actually evolved from Synapse. So we have Synapse Engineering, Synapse IoT, Synapse Warehouse, Synapse Data Science, and monitoring activities called Data Activator. Single license. But to get into the internals of Fabric, this is again our backbone. We need it. So 2 months data engineering, 2 months Fabric, 1 month Power BI. In case to make it clear, vast subject, each of these boxes. Let's understand more about data engineering now. We'll go for questions after a few minutes. If in case you are planning for data engineering and Microsoft Power BI, say Power BI, Fabric, Microsoft Fabric, none of the examples are repeated. None of them, not even a single touch. Things are entirely different. We cannot compromise. We started with 1 month, now it became 2 months here. It's becoming huge. And truly speaking, not many companies are keen to invest in Fabric at this moment. That's a sideline. Let's focus on the core engineering part, our backbone. So as a data engineer, from tomorrow, we are into ETL and data warehouse. Remember, what is that? ETL and data warehouse. So let's put this way. I'll take this one. I'll provide you all the notes. Okay, let's make it clear. Item 1. What is data engineering? An art. It's an art of designing. Art of designing the structures to perform data extraction E, data transformations T, and data loads L into data warehouse DWH. I'll provide you the complete notes. Let's stay tuned. We'll go for questions in another 10-15 minutes. Into data warehouse in cloud. Number 2. So it involves ETL and warehouse, primary concepts. What is Azure data engineering? Implementation of data engineering components in Azure. From here, our course starts. Number 1, we have storage components. Storage account, also called Azure storage account. And Azure data lake storage account. Remember, Azure storage account, this component is used to store files, tables, no database, directly tables, just like Excel. Hope you know. In Excel, we can directly store tables. No database required. Type something in Excel and Control T, you get a table. Files, tables, etc. I'll make it simple. Here also the same story, but more secure and faster. Hence, it is more costly. Hence, costly. Just like a hard disk, And this is like solid state disk, SSD. Both are disks only in our laptop. Hard disk or SSD, something like that. Number 2, we have ETL components. What is ETL? Extract data from various sources. What does it mean? You extract data from various sources, databases, files, apps. We have examples in our classes like Raspberry app, IoT, web applications, etc. From various sources, we extract data. We have one of our examples in our classes. By end of this week or early next week, we will touch base with one example for live temperatures. We are going to practically learn how to read live temperature from AC, air conditioner, room AC, or live temperature from a sensor. We'll do it practically. I'll take an example here to make it easier for us. This one. Here it is. How to get data from a live temperature into something called IoT and storage. From storage, we go for reporting. Detailed notes to be provided for every examples up front. You'll be taking print copies of the notes up front. Please, let's learn together. Anyway, back to our diagram. We read data from various sources, devices, files, databases, use ETL. And then load the data into the warehouse. Open source, Microsoft. Again, Microsoft, 2 different options, database, files. Both are equally important. So accordingly, we have these technologies, ETL components. Number 1, Azure Databricks. This component is used to perform flexible ETL using PySpark and Scala platforms. We'll start from the scratch. We learn whatever is required for Python and Scala in our classes. We have about 20 examples on PySpark and Scala. 20 minimum from the classes and the task items. That should be fine for engineering. We are not into programming. For programming, we have separate trainer and separate classes. We have Python 1 month and Python full stack 3 months. Separate journey. We are into core engineering. Whatever is required from ETL perspective, we will do practically. Azure Data Factory. Here we call it as notebooks. Okay, remember notebooks. Something new. Please by heart these technical terms. I'll provide you all this information in your email for the responsive attendees. Flexible. This is easy. GUI ETL, graphical user interface ETL using something called pipelines. So both of them have their own beauty. Mixing together, you have Azure Synapse Analytics. This component is used to perform faster, flexible, easier ETL using notebooks and pipelines together. This is called Synapse. Databricks, Data Factory combined together is equal to Synapse, sandwiched together. Same way, we have data warehouse technologies, data warehouse components. We have Spark. It's actually Spark is a cloud computing component. So I'll say Spark databases that we are going to create in our classes, and Spark SQL to implement data warehouse using Spark SQL. Same way, Synapse data warehouse, also called SQL pools, we call. Implement data warehouse using TSQL, Transact SQL, because Synapse requires Azure SQL Server. We'll see practically. And others. We have something called serverless pools, Apache Spark pools, and Delta Lake to implement file-based warehouse concepts. They depend on Transact SQL and Spark SQL. These are the major components we need to learn. In our journey, we have few monitoring and management components. Here it is. We need to run stream analytics. And IoT hubs, event hubs, logic apps, and Microsoft Entra. Please by heart these new technical terms to step into our classes from tomorrow with examples in an easier way. And keywords. Okay, these are the major components. Stream analytics. This is actually stream analytic job we call. Okay, this one. Azure stream analytic job. Azure event hubs. Azure IoT hubs. Here, this component is used to track or to capture and perform ETL with live streaming data. Perform ETL. So there comes two important components to capture live data from internet and Bluetooth enabled devices. We'll take examples anyway. We'll be using free account. What we can do, I'll show you. This one, capture near real-time data. This is important. From apps and devices. Example, phone call tracking. Government agencies, investigation agencies, they use event hubs. One of our class examples, event hubs, we'll be taking something called event device. Okay, event device. We are going to download one event generation app. Configure something called service bus. and install one app, telco data gen app, and start simulating call records, phone call events for fraud detection projects. Step by step, we'll do it one by one, practically. Everything possible with free accounts. Next, logic apps. This component is used to automate the process of ETL. When to perform ingestions, when to perform incremental loads, when to pause a compute, or when to pause a cluster. We have something called clusters here. All these items are managed and monitored by cluster. We say Spark cluster, cloud compute. 2 and 3 are completely based on cloud computing. So when to start the compute, when to end the compute, logic apps can decide. These are like triggers in a regular database environment. Key vaults. This component is used to generate and store sensitive data like passwords, keys, certificates, etc. Microsoft Entra. This is actually not a component, it's a service. This free service from Azure is used to manage and control the access using something called Active Directory users, AD users we call. And Azure Monitor. This component is used to monitor and measure the metrics pertaining to usage of ETL, storage, and data warehouse resources. In this process of Azure alerts, this component, again, these are all components, we need to pay for them, we have to create them, is used to notify the data engineers and admins about the metrics and uses, resource uses. Please by heart these technical terms. For classes from tomorrow and next week, you'll be given a set of documents. Please take print copy of all these documents. It involves security, migrations, all basic components we are going to learn from tomorrow. Step by step. These are the things we are going to practice in our classes. After we do the storage module, then comes open source ETL, open source warehouse, right from the scratch with Python. Don't worry about Python and Scala. We'll take it from scratch in our classes with good number of examples, trust me. Then we are going to land up into Microsoft ETL, Microsoft Warehouse. Then come to conclusions, comparisons, conclusions, when to use which, and the end-to-end integration activities. We'll do it. For the integration activities, you have project work. If our interviewer asks us what we did in the project, what are the daily challenges, project FAQs, complete requirement, solutions, I will take care with various keywords. Today I'll be providing on email the keyword checklist. I said 3 components, right? Storage, open source, and Microsoft. I'll provide you all the checklist activities and the project takeaways. No doubt, course is a bit lengthy, need your support. Please let me know. Can you practice minimum 1 hour every day, please? Please confirm, everyone. Minimum 1 hour, please. Mic with you all. Please let me know. Please, I'll wait.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes.
Please, everyone,
Yes.
please, I'll wait.
Yes.
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 Thank you, attendees have been responsive. I am with you. Next. Others, please, mic with you. Please let me know. Please, others, mic with you. Please, others, mic with you. Let's continue. I'll be sending you the complete information to the responsive attendees. Number 1, this notes. I have a few more things to add. Number 3. We learned what is engineering. Then the main course takeaways. I'll write them to make it specific and mail you. Weekly notes in advance. It's actually not weekly, bi-weekly, module wise. Advance. Please take print copies of the notes and get ready for our actual classes. Okay. This will save a lot of time during our learning. You know what's coming up next. You know what was done in a printed format. Number 2, everyday assignments. Kindly submit by weekend. Majority of our participants are doing 1 or 2 jobs. I respect your time. Everything is important for us. So weekend, please allocate time for me. Submit all your assignments by weekend and get my solutions back. In reply to your timely submissions, please help me. The Daywise roster you'll be receiving today, will carefully follow it. So please take a print copy of the Daywise roster to get clear information what we are going to learn in our classes. It's important for us. Number 3, very important. Coming to the project. For project work, you have 2 options. Either you can start working on it from 2nd week of the course or get complete requirement, solution and project FAQs for your interviews. If in case anyone planning for interviews or any kind of job interview or any internal move, project interview, whatever, why to wait until end of the course? Let's get started with the ball. From 2nd week, you can do it. It's up to you. Number 4, for DP 203 certification, I shall send you complete and the latest samples, 400 pages PDF with complete solutions and explanations. And this works 100% for your certification. Pretty sure about it. It's working. And the certification content will be like this, just to make it clear for us. The latest one right now, this is the one. Okay. I'm just setting up the expectations from our classes. It's not 400, sorry, it's 398 pages. I'll provide you the complete information and you'll start working on it during your free time. It works. It works. For best score for your DP203 certification, part of our classes. Course continues in parallel to your project and or certification as per your priority. Part of the course anyway. And what else? Number 4, the prerequisites. Please install SQL Server 2019 or higher, SSMS 19 or higher. We need it for our classes. Next 2 classes, we are going to do migrations. We'll start from the scratch, Azure account and all from scratch fundamentals. Next 2 to 3 classes, we need to go for migrations. We need this. Install it. You may refer to this website or any other site that you trust and start getting the things installed. Get ready. What about the practice part? Request you to have your own a card from your end, maybe your debit card or credit card, to activate your free trial, valid for 30 days. But our course is for 2 months. At least another 1 month you need to practice. So after 30 days, either new account or convert to pay account as per your choice. If it is paid account, I need to provide you a checklist that ensures minimal charge $15 to $20 for 1 month. It works. It may be a less amount or more amount, I don't know. But up to $15, $20, we can even make it $12 or $13 also a month. We can do. How? Very simple. Databricks, I can provide the account to you. We are anyway paying for it. We can provide the account for you. Storage account, we can provide it to you. All you need to buy is the remaining items. Use free account, 30 days. After 30 days, you can minimize the cost because first 3, I can provide you the accounts. Part of our classes, I can do. It will not cost much for us, so we can do. But remaining, it's very costly for us. So what you do, you minimize the cost by going for free account or a paid account. But again, if it is paid account, you need to simply delete the resources immediately after the use every time. Bit extra effort, but in front of money, these are all small things, right? Resources are more important than our smart work. Need your support. Let's make it work from tomorrow. I'll provide you this complete notes. This is the first one, the first file. I'll take it as 1, 2, first chapter, second file, Azure Data Engineering, intro info. Please go through it carefully. First file would be the PDF course content. Please take print copy of the PDF I'll be providing you. It also includes the Daywise roster, like what we are going to learn on each day. And this information as well, a short checklist, like what we are going to learn, the Azure components. So total 2 different attachments to be sent today. Please go through them carefully. It also includes a Daywise roster. Next, any questions? Over to you. Let's go for questions clarifications now. In the meantime, I'll be sending you all this content. Please wait. Yes, here it is. Any questions, let me know, please. We'll stop for today. One by one, please. We'll stop for now. Let's start our classes from tomorrow. Need your support. Let's make them interactive and useful. Any questions, please? I'll stay back.